Hi, this is Steve. Welcome to my PSA submission video. In this video, I'm going to reveal a recent submission that I received. The original submission actually was made in April 2021, so here it is, 17 months later in September 2022 when I'm receiving the cards. There will actually be two videos. The first video will be about the 1956 Topps baseball cards that I included in the submission. And the second video will be about the non-sports cards that I put in the submission, which are primarily the 1952 Look and See series, as well as one card from the 1888 Goodwin's Champions series. I did not look at the grades on the PSA site, even though they are available as soon as the order is complete. So I'm going to be as surprised as you are about the outcome. A lot since I made the original submission. I'm sure I would have done a few things differently, but a lot depends on the results of the grading and so on. With that, let's proceed to the reveal. So here we are for the long-awaited reveal of the April 2021 submission that was received here in 2022. Before I start, I want to mention that the package weighed about 20 pounds and it came in a very sturdy cardboard box, and as you can see, there's individual boxes containing the cards, and those were wrapped with I guess I would call it brown heavy wrapping paper. So reasonably well packaged. Now these boxes are not labeled, so I'm going to have to open them, and as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to be doing two different videos, one for the 1956 Topps baseball and one for the non-sport 1952 Look and See cards. So I'll try to keep them separate so that both videos can be put together. So I'm going to start by opening one of these boxes, and we'll see what's inside. As I also mentioned in the intro, I do not know what the grades are for these cards, and so I'm looking forward to it, hopefully as much as you are. And let me see. Really sturdy boxes. So here we go. So here's what they look like inside. There's some protection here. There's no individual protection on the sleeves themselves. These are obviously 1956 Topps. So I am going to start with the baseball, and I will say that there are some stars in here, including some very key stars in this set, and I want to I'm not going to try to go in any particular order, just however they come up in the boxes, but I'm going to take a break here for a moment and try to get the boxes. So here we are, ready for the reveal for the 1952 Look and See cards and the other non-sport card that I submitted in the April 2021 submission. There were approximately 100 of these cards that I submitted for grading. They're all for my personal collection. My goal is to have the entire 135 card set graded. I still have 10 or 12, I think, that I need to buy outright. Some of the ones that are graded are actually in SGC holders. And in another video, I mentioned that my original plan was to submit these cards to SGC because I think they present very well in the black background holders. There was a mix-up, I guess I would say, with my original submission. I wanted to change my address. They asked me to resubmit, and so I said, well, I'll be busy. I'll resubmit on the weekend. By the time I went on the weekend, the SGC first price increase had gone into effect. And at that point, I got frustrated with them. They wouldn't hear my appeal about honoring the original pricing. So I said, fine, I'll send to PSA, which probably was the better decision anyway. So there are about 100 cards here that are graded. You can kind of see some of them in the background here. Quite a stack of them. My target, I would say, I didn't know what grades to expect, to be honest, but I think I would be happy with a 4 or better, especially given the experience that I had just going through the 1956 tops, where I think there were a fair number that graded below 5, below 4. And so, to be honest, somewhat disappointed for a lot of those grades. Because there are so many, and I don't want this video to be too long, I am going to show you the nicer ones that we got for Look and See. I didn't know the grades ahead of time. I do now. And I'm going to show you some of the nicer ones and also some of the not so nice ones, just to show you what kind of drove the differentiation in the grading. So I'm going to start off with Thomas Jefferson. I think this is a nice card, and the centering is not too bad. Coloring's good, it presents well, but for some reason he got a 4. Again, that's within my acceptable range, we'll take it, but Thomas Jefferson got a 4. Okay, I'm going to go rather quickly here. Sir Walter Scott got a 7. Not bad, nice outcome. 7 is good. I think from an economic standpoint, if I were going to sell these cards, this more than paid for the grading. So here we go. Another 7. Again, that's nice. Centering isn't perfect. And a lot of these, the edge, the natural edge is kind of cut kind of rough. But apparently when they're grading these, they don't discount for a rough edge. So that's that. As most of you who know are familiar with this set, it includes all kinds of individuals, historical individuals. Only one member of a sporting team, and a good mix of men and women. And to that point, I just thought I would show you the card I really like, which is Queen Elizabeth, Queen of England. She was crowned queen as a young woman. My dad was actually stationed in England in the Air Force when that happened. So we have a picture or some kind of advertising picture in his materials of that. Now this card only got a 4. The centering is really off, right and left. Again, if you're not familiar with these cards, they have a back, they have a lot of historical information on there, and then they have a quiz question at the bottom. And then if you would hold a piece of red cellophane over the top two-thirds of the card, it would reveal the answer to the question. So that's Queen Elizabeth. Here we have Benedict Arnold. Again, a 7. I'll take it. So here we have Dwight Eisenhower. I'm showing this as an example and as a learning. It's a nice card, not centered quite so well left to right, but unfortunately there's paper loss on the back. And as I know now, the best grade you can get with paper loss is a 1. So that's Dwight Eisenhower with a 1. Here we go, Stonewall Jackson, another 7. Nice outcome despite the centering. Here we have an example of a 6. And another example of a 7. So these are rather nice, good outcomes. We have Machiavelli, another 7. Very nice. So here's, I guess, a slight disappointment. I love this card. This is Samuel Morse, inventor of the Morse code. And it got a 6, which is a nice grade. But it got a mark qualifier, which I assume this spot in the upper left, I don't know if it's some kind of ink spot or printing defect or whatever, resulted in a qualifier. But it is a 6. And again, this is my personal collection. So I'm happy with it. The other interesting thing about Samuel Morse, if I recall correctly, is they have his name as Samuel B.F. Morse, but I think his name was Samuel F.B. Morse, and at the back has it correct, but the front has it back. So just a little trivia. So here we have another example of a 7, really nice card. This is quite impressive, to be honest. This is an 8. As far as I know, the only 8 I got, but the centering is nice, corners are nice. Very pleased with the outcome of this card. So here we have Cleopatra. Nice card, I like the coloring, like the centering, but she only got a 6. Here we have another famous individual. Again, a nice card, centering isn't perfect. He got a 6. Here we have a 6.5, which is Charles Lindbergh. I really brought this one out because unlike the 56 tops grades, which I had a lot of half grades, in this case, it's one of the few half grades that I think I noticed, and I'll take it at 6.5. One of the presidents that is in the set, in the low numbers, Andrew Jackson, he got a 6. Here's another great outcome. Ulysses S. Grant, number 8. Graded 8, beautiful. But then we have, for example, Teddy Roosevelt. Probably due to centering, he only got a 5. So again, lots of 7s and 8, a few 6s. There's other 6s in the stack. Since I see him on top, here's a president, Abraham Lincoln. Probably shouldn't have submitted him because he's so off-centered that he got a miscut grade. He also got a 1.5, and I don't know if that is compounding the centering miscut issue, or if there's another issue with the card. But Abraham Lincoln only got a 1.5. All right, so I've got a few other cards here I want to show you. So I mentioned there's only one sports person in this set, and it is none other than Babe Ruth, and here he is. And I have another one of these already. It got graded a 2 by SGC. This one isn't perfectly centered, but this one got a 5, and I'm very pleased with that outcome because of who he is, and he's the only sportsman in the set. Usually demands a pretty high price, and I'm happy with that grade. So the one card that I know for sure, or is commonly believed to be a short print in this set, is Rembrandt. The one I have is not very good condition, and of course the grading came back accordingly. It's a poor, but because it is so rare, it would have some value if I were to sell it. I'm not looking to spend a fortune on this set. The cards can get expensive if they're graded, so I'll be happy with a 1 on Rembrandt. And lastly, just to round out the non-sports section of this video here, is I do have a chess player, which is one of my hobbies. And there are a few cards that have been issued with a chess theme. This is Wilhelm Steinitz, who I believe is commonly thought to be the first world champion in the 1800s. And this set is from 1888, as indicated in the background here. This card is not very good. I think I might have a better one, but it's marked. But this got a marked grade as well, so we only got a 1. I think it's mainly because the back, which has paper loss. So that's the look and see. As you can see in the background, I have quite a few to go through. I'm pretty happy with the grades. I got a lot of 4s and 5s, and 4 I think was a target grade that I would be very happy with. So I got lots of those, but I got some really nice ones which I've shown you in this video. So I hope you enjoyed this, and happy collecting.